Good morning all. I am Dr. Swapnili Karmore. Today I am going to teach you Real-Time Operating System Introduction portion from Unit 1. In today's lecture, we will cover what is real-time operating system, characteristics of real-time systems, requirement of a real-time operating system, components of real-time operating system, types of real-time operating system, terms used in real-time operating system, features of real-time operating system, factors for selecting in real-time operating system, then difference between general purpose operating system and real-time operating system, and application of real-time operating system, disadvantage of real-time operating system, and summary of the lecture. So we will start from what is a real-time operating system. In the previous lecture, I told non-technically that what is the real-time operating system is. It is nothing but a bunch of a system software which is responsible to control some application and devices connected to it. If you will remember, we have seen the diagram where operating system is connected with printer, mouse, applications and different devices, and operating system is responsible to monitor the all. But in the case of real-time operating system, if we want to give technical definition, we can say it is an operating system intended to serve real-time application. Real word is very much important here. Real-time application that process data as it comes in, mostly without buffer delay. The full form of real-time operating system is real-time operating system. In a real-time operating system, processing time requirements are calculated in tens of seconds, increments of time. It is a time-bound system that can be defined as fixed time constraints. In this type of system, processing must be done inside the specified constraint, otherwise the system will fail. If we will say that how the normal operating system is different than real time operating system, then real time is very much important in the case of real time operating system. In the previous lecture we have seen how this real time is divided into soft, medium and hard, and how timeline is very much important in the case of real time operating system. So processing must be done inside the specified constraint, otherwise the system will fail in the case of real time operating system. Previous lecture is very much important because in that lecture, we have seen prerequisite for the real-time operating system subject, that are nothing but operating system and embedded system. And basically, these real-time operating systems designed for embedded system. And as embedded systems are application specific and worked in a real-time environment, that's why there is a need to develop some specialized operating system. All the embedded system are not the real time operating system embedded system, but many of them are. General operating system are not capable to run in a real time environment. Designing complex system having software hardware is challenging and time consuming task for specialized embedded system. And we know that in the normal operating system they have lot of portion we didn't require to carry all. For the development of embedded system, the function which are unused can't be tolerated. No single operating system can't fulfill our embedded systems application specific requirements. That's why there is a need to develop, to design some specialized operating system for these embedded systems, that are real time operating systems. Now, characteristics of real-time systems. First characteristics of real-time system is event-driven reactive. Means if I will click mouse at a time, I will get the reaction from PC. That time I can say it is event driven. Means if we will switch the button, the particular light will on or off. Means it is reactive. For every action there is a reaction. So first characteristics of real time operating systems are event driven and reactive. Then high cost of failure. We have seen in the embedded system that there are safety critical embedded system. That type of embedded system are grouped in a that category where timeline is very much important, and if we fail to achieve that timeline there is a severe loss to the human being. And the example of such safety critical devices are missile launcher, railroad signaling system, aircraft system, and so on. So, as there is a requirement of costly hardware and a big complex system, if that system will fail, we will have high cost of failure. We can take example of rovers also. Okay. Then third is concurrency multiprogramming. While studying OS, we have also seen what is the multi-programming is. There is a need that system have to perform multiple program at a time. So it is again the characteristics of real-time system. Then stand-alone continuous operation. If we will take example of weather forecaster, in the case of weather forecaster have to work continuously. So there is a need of critical mathematical operation continuously. After that only one can give a specific time of that weather forecasting, or one can give the specific condition of the weather after performing the critical and complex mathematical continuously. Stand alone, as the systems are safety critical, they basically they will not depend on particular platform or dependency. They must be standalone in the case of real time system. Reliability reliability fault tolerance requirement. Reliability means they must be reliable, because in the previous lecture we have seen one example of real time operating system, that is nothing but a pacemaker. Pacemaker is a device which is used to monitor the heart activity of the patient, and pacemaker must be reliable, otherwise there will be a great harm to that particular person or patient who is using that pacemaker. So system must be reliable. Fault tolerance requirement. Fault tolerance requirement, we can take example of anti-lock braking system. The anti-lock braking system is embedded system where it will give a power to our vehicle to stop that vehicle in that particular particular place. That vehicle will be stopped within second or within microseconds. So if that particular system will fail, then severe accident will occur. So fault tolerance requirement is embedded in a particular anti-lock braking system in order to make it accurate and perfect, means reliable. Then predictable behavior. As in the case of weather forecaster, we know that predictable nature is required, because if same type of calculations are there, that predict weather forecaster can predict easily that, but on the basis of the previous experiences, past experiences, such type of weather will be again. So predictable behavior is a characteristics of real time system. Now why to use real time operating system? What is the need and requirement for real time operating system? So it offers priority based scheduling. We know that what is the meaning of priority. When we have several operation and we have to conduct all the operation together, on the basis of its priority that particular operation will be run, which allows you to separate analytical processing from non critical processing. The real time OS provides API functions that allow cleaner and smaller application code. Abstracting time dependency and a task based design result in fewer interdependencies between modules. RTOS offers modular task-based development which allow modular task-based testing. The task-based API encourages modular development as a task will typically have a clearly defined role. It allows designer teams to work independently on their parts of the project. And RTOS is an event driven with no time wastage on processing time for the event which is not occur. These are the things because of which real-time operating system is essential in the case of embedded system. And as we know that in normal system operating system there are several functions, but in the case of embedded system, as they are application specific, there is no use of that unnecessary functions. So uh, to avoid the complexity, we will choose only the desired function, and that desired function will be run via this specialized real-time operating systems. So what are the components of RTOS? The figure shows the component for RTOS. The first component is the scheduler, then function library, fast dispatch latency, user defined data object and classes, memory management and symmetric multiprocessing. So scheduler is required to provide to schedule the task. Function library is required to provide a code because reusability is a basic function with the help of which we can avoid the redundancy of data as well as the extra work. Then fast dispatch latency is very much important because we are serving the thing in a real time. Then user defined data objects and classes means object oriented approach is very much popular in the case of development of real time operating system. So user defined data object and classes is an essential component of RTOS. Memory management, because we have to store all the things in a single memory, so memory management is also an essential component for RTOS. And symmetrical multiprocessing. So after component of RTOS, we will see detail the definition for the scheduler. This component of RTOS tells that in which order the task can be executed, which is generally based on the priority. Symmetric multiprocessing. It is a number of multiple different tasks that can be handled by the real-time operating system so that parallel processing can be done. Function library. It is an important element of RTOS that acts as an interface that helps you to connect kernel and application code. This application allows you to send the request to the kernel using a function library so that the application can give the desired result. Because if we will consider normal operating system, when system call occurs, that system have to go through some device driver, middleware, hardware and different layers, and system calls will connect with kernel only via going to these things. Means normal OS can bypass the middleware or middle thing, but in the case of real time operating system it is possible. This application allows you to send a request directly to the kernel using a function library so that the application can give the desired result within a specified time of the interval. Then memory management. This element is needed in the system to allocate memory to every program, which is the most important element of the real-time operating system. Fast dispatch latency. It is an interval between the termination of a task that can be identified by the OS and the actual time taken by the thread which is in the ready queue that has started processing. So fast dispatch latency is important component for RTOS. Then the last is user defined data object and classes. Real-time operating system makes use of programming language like C or C++, which should be organized according to their operation. because in the case of real-time operating system, increasing complexity and time to come market makes the business person in loss, because if the man will not launch his application or system in a particular time and having a less complexity, then his business will be in a loss if he will not follow the timeline to bring that system into the market. So competing situation is present there. So every time there are several approach used to development for real-time operating system, but the most popular is a reusability, maybe in the form of hardware or software. Means we can use hardware as well as we can reuse the software. So when we develop embedded system on the basis of size, memory, payload, we have to make may we have to make embedded system heavy OS. There is no need to develop a system who have a lot of function in the case of real-time operating system. So we refer the system where the less function or the specified function will be present only, and we can't tolerate any overload for the function which are useless. But no single operating system is capable to run application of OS, and that is only there is a requirement of some specialized embedded system. Because if we will consider the different example for embedded system, we can say mobile, then autonomous car, then washing machine, microwave oven, set top box. In each every embedded system case, the system requirement are different, and normal OS can't handle the things. So there is a need to develop some specialized embedded system. And as the last point, user defined data object and classes, it makes use of programming languages C or C++. Why? Because after the reusability, the popular approach is object oriented. Object oriented approach is used to solve the RTOS related problem, like spatial scheduler having specific time function, specific function running capability. This problem will be solved in object oriented approach. Another approach which is used is the Condell condition compilation, which is used in preprocessor. Command like E for E statement, particular part of code will be compiled under some condition. Code will be developed based on application, and disadvantage is what, that code become highly unreadable and not used. So advanced compiler compile time evaluation is also solution for the development of the embedded system. Linker time optimization are also used. All modules are not required, so when we develop OS, we will develop it as per requirement, known as reconfiguration. So real time to generate quick version of OS that will work to some specific need, to only for specific application. We can take several example where we can use static data structure over the dynamic one. Then types of real-time operating system. First is a hard real-time. This portion is discussed in the previous lecture, but we will revise it again. In hard RTOS, the deadline is handled very strictly, which means that given task must start executing on specified scheduled time and must be completed within the assigned time duration. Example of hard real-time system is medical critical care system. We can take example of pacemaker. Then aircraft system. If there is a failure in aeroplane launching and aeroplane takeoff, that time severe accident will occur which will harmful to the human being. So it is a hard real time system where we have to follow the timeline hard manner. Then another type is a firm real time. This type of RTOS also need to follow the deadline. However, missing a deadline may not have a big impact but could cause undesired effect like a huge reduction of quality of a product. We can take example of microwave oven. If we will miss the deadline, then if we want to develop the cake but if it burns, Then there is a, it affects but not in a huge manner, means it is not the safety critical one. There is no loss for the human being lives here, but there is a loss in a taste of your cake. Example are various type of multimedia application. Then another type of real-time operating system is a soft real-time. Soft real-time RTOS accept some delays by the operating system. In this type of RTOS, there is a deadline assigned for a specific job, but a delay for a small amount of time is acceptable. So deadlines are handled softly by this type of RTOS. An example of online transaction system and live stock price quotation system. Because if we will take example for this soft real time, in the previous lecture I told you the example of CD tray. Okay, then terms used in real time operating system, because as we want operating system, we should know the meaning of some terms which is which is previously used in OS, but we will revise again. So first is a task, a set of related tasks that are jointly able to provide some system functionality. Then job. Job is a small piece of work that can be assigned to a processor and that may or may not require resources. Third is a release time of job. It's a time of a job at which job become ready for execution. Then execution time of a job. It is time taken by job to finish its execution. Deadline of a job. It's time by which a job should finish its execution. Next is processor. They are also known as active resources. They are important for the execution of a job. Maximum, it is the allowable response time of a job is called its relative deadline. Then response time of a job, it is a length of a time from the release time of a job when the instant finishes. Next is the absolute deadline. This is the relative deadline which also includes its release time. Now features of the RTOS. First is it occupies very less memory because it is developed for only for specific function, not for the different function, and the operating system which is basically defined or developed for specialized embedded system that are nothing but our RTOS, that occupies very less memory. Second, consumes fewer resources because our desired target is specific. So resources consumption is also very few. There is not requirement of several ports and all, so it consumes fewer resources. Response times are highly predictable. As we test our embedded system several times, so we already calculated how much response time are required. So response times are highly predictable. Unpredictable environment. Environment can be unpredictable because we are serving the application in real time. Then the kernel saves the state of the interrupted task and determines which task it should run next. The kernel restores the state of the task and passes control of the CPU for that task. Means there is not no requirement of some middleware or some layers. We can skip that layers and system call can directly contact to the kernel. Now very important point, factors for selecting an RTOS, because we know that in the case of embedded system it is of the three types, soft, medium and hard, as well as there are some more types of embedded system which are basically the on its use. So maybe it may be small scale embedded system, it may be medium scale embedded system, and it is a large scale. If small group of experiment will be taken, then it is small, medium, and in the case of large industrial use, RTOS may be required for embedded system. So factors for selecting an RTOS: if my application is small, then I will use the normal type of real-time operating system, but the application is vast and complex software and hardware are used, then I have to use some specialized high-end real-time operating system. So the factor for selecting an RTOS are performance. Performance is the most important factor, required to be considered while selecting for RTOS, because if your system demands some safety critical function, that time the performance factor is very much important. So performance is again the important factor for the selection of the RTOS. Second is the middleware. If there is no middleware support in RTOS, then the issue of time taken integration of processes occurs. Third is the error free. RTOS system are error free, therefore there is no chance of getting an error while performing the task. Then embedded system uses program of RTOS are small size, so we widely use RTOS for embedded system. Next is maximum consumption. We can achieve maximum consumption with the help of RTOS. Task shifting time of the task is very less. Next is a unique feature. A good RTOS should be capable and it has some extra features like how it operates to execute a command, efficient protection of the memory of the system, etc. And very important factor for selecting RTOS is its use, that is 24 by 7 performance. RTOS is ideal for those applications which require run 24 by 7. We can take an example of the weather forecaster here. Okay, so how to design embedded system? First, what are the challenges associated with embedded system? When I have to design embedded system, I have to develop that embedded system in a competitive situation. Second, as it involves software and hardware, the complex design is required. So, this competing situation and increasing complexity makes embedded system very much critical or challenging task for design, because of these two factor, embedded systems have to stand or have to develop in a specific time, and if the particular businessman will not launch his system in a specified time, then it he may have a business loss in the case of that. So approaches are what? First approaches to design embedded system is reusability, maybe in the form of software and hardware. Then the second point is object oriented approach, because there are several codes are used, classes, object concepts are used, all modules are not required. Then when I will develop operating system, I will develop it as per my requirement, known as reconfiguration, and the quick version required. So object oriented approach is also very much popular. Compiler time optimization and linker time optimization are also two approaches, but not widely used. Then VxWorks, which is based on the configurability. VxWorks is very much popular approach used for real-time operating system, and we will take a special lecture for this VxWorks. So VxWorks contains the feature which is known as configurability. In this approach, GUI level is provided to the user, and that GUI allows us to select the component that we want to tie them up, and we can reconfigure our system. Reconfiguration panel using, we can create our own version of VxWorks. Other problem of REST now is downside of this is that what whenever we are reconfiguring our OS, then that OS must be tested. Testing and verification of desired way is very important, because some embedded system are safety critical. There are several again approaches like ECOS OS. In the case of ECOS OS, there are several reconfiguration point, but verification is difficult here. Then tasks are also another approach, where it is a set of software package which itself of hardware, but it actually manages the resource efficiently, so that we get a virtual environment. But it is not important, but one of the major OS contains in core hardware device driver outside hardware of the kernel, Whenever we make a call to kernel select device, so device driver aren't usually directly called by the user. Reason as device used by processor, another process can through it, result can be undesirable. So compiler layer linker different middleware containing several layers. In case of standard OS, these have one facility, they can't bypass it. But in the case of our normal real-time operating system, it consists of application layer, middleware, device driver, and kernel. We can approach kernel directly, so tasks is also an good approach. Then another is a timer. It is also very important. Except timer will not be case all the process using same set of devices vary appropriate. Major differences between OS and real time operating system. So protection is very important features, because the processes are protected. Similarly, they are in the device simultaneously access, but protection is optimal in RTOS, because embedded system are system designed for particular process and for single purpose, not for the multiple process. So privilege the instruction, these are that factor which can be executed only on OS module or on kernel. When unprivileged not allowed to ensure that the protection, but in RTOS privilege instruction required and designed for single purpose. Example, switch system is very much popular. So for designing a embedded system, we have seen the several approaches, and among this we use the VxWorks, which is also in our syllabus. So another important thing in the real time operating system is a interrupts, because this is the very important thing which makes with the help of which we can easily categorize the general, or we can say easily differentiate our normal embedded system to the general purpose operating system to the normal real time operating system. So it is also very important factor. In case of general processors system, we can go to kernel, and for going toward kernel we have to go through several layers. But in case of embedded OS, that is nothing but our real time OS, device can directly go to interrupt line as already tested. Interrupts are not restricted in the case, and that's why as all the things are tested, it will not waste the time of our processor. So interrupt always turned out of unpredictable, because we know the very nature of interrupt, that they are synchronous, they can come at any particular point of the right and first meeting time constraint, but also we mean predictable, and that was interrupt handler very carefully. But here in general OS, that can lead to be unpredictable. But how to handle interrupts in embedded OS? We can allow any particular process to construct interrupt when we come to interrupt and service it. Then that too in normal OS we go to the kernel, but here we are not restricted to go through the kernel. So here we consider that embedded system. So interrupt is an very important part. They are tested, all right. We are testing, we have tested that if interrupt arrives, the interrupt are not to be restricted through the ways. See, the restricted through the ways interrupts, it has mandatory that the only process to kernel in general system, but in RTOS we didn't restrict it. Device can directly connect to interrupt line of process, or because they are already tested, and protection not always required, and efficient control over the variety of device. So it is possible that a particular software. So it is clear now how interrupt makes the general processing operating system different than the real time embedded systems. Okay, so next is the requirements of RTOS are predictability, that as this real time operating system works in a real time, we can able to predict the event. unless and until we can't able to predict the event, we can't face to the real problem which occur in a real time interval. So timing and scheduling is very much important. We can take example of an rover. If we will watch the video of rover, Mars rover, over the internet, you can experience what is the predictability and how the timing and scheduling takes place there. Means if you will predict that which type of unknown situation occurs in a space, on the basis of that particular Mars rover will change its position, its size, its shapes, and propagate to the propagate in a progressive manner, and exact timing and scheduling will not match that time, then it will cause to a severe harm to that. So real time capability is very important thing. Now this is a summary for difference between general purpose OS and our real time OS, which is basically developed for embedded system. So we will summarize it like by some difference. First is what it used for desktop PC and laptop. General purpose operating system is used for desktop PC and laptop. RTOS is only applied to the embedded application. It is clear now what is the difference between normal OS and this RTOS. Then process based scheduling is present in GPOS, and time based scheduling used like round robin scheduling in the case of RTOS. Interrupt latency is not considered as important as in RTOS, and here interrupt lag is minimal, which is measured in a few microseconds, because basically in the case of embedded system there is a safety critical systems are there which are associated with medical line or spacecraft. No priority inversion mechanism is present in the GPOS. The priority inversion mechanism is current, so it can't modify by the system. Kernel's operation may or may not be preempted. Here, kernel operation can be preempted. Priority inversion remain unnoticed, and here no predictability guarantees. So it is the generalized difference between general purpose OS and our real time OS. Now in short we will see what are the application of RTOS. First is a airline reservation system. Second is a air traffic control system. Third is system that provide immediate updating. Fourth is used in any system that provide up to date and minute information on stock prices. Defense application system like radar, network multimedia system, command control system, and interrupt telephony, anti-lock braking system, heart pacemaker. Now as we have seen the application, so we have to see some disadvantage also. So disadvantage are what? Auto system can run in a minimal task together, and it concentrates only on those application which contain an error, so that it can avoid them, because it is developed for specific application, so can't used for as a generalized purpose. Then it is the system that concentrate on a few tasks. If for example, if we will take an example of embedded system mobile phone, it will concentrate on calling itself. Therefore it is really hard for this system to do multitasking. But in nowadays, in the case of smartphone, we embedded that another features also, like watching movies, listening music, and so on. But in some specific system, these type of things will not occurs. So specific drivers are required for the RTOS, so that it can offer fast response time to interrupt signal, which helps to maintain its speeds. Plenty of resources are used by RTOS, which makes this system expensive. The tasks which have a low priority need to wait for a long time, as the RTOS maintains the accuracy of the program which are under execution. Minimum switching of task is done in RTOS. It uses complex algorithm which is difficult to understand, and RTOS uses lot of resources which sometimes not suitable for the system. So these are all the disadvantage for RTOS. Now we will see the summary portion. First, RTOS definition. RTOS is an OS intended to serve real-time application that process data as it comes in, mostly without buffer delay. Second point is it offers priority-based scheduling, which allows you to separate analytical processing from non-critical processing. Third, important component of RTOS system are the scheduler, symmetric multiprocessing, function library, memory management, fast dispatch latency, and user-defined data object and classes. Three types of RTOS are hard, soft, and firm. RTOS system occupy very less memory and consume fewer resources. Performance is the most important factor required to be considered while selecting for RTOS. General purpose OS is used for desktop PC and laptop, while RTOS only applied to the embedded application. RTOS are used in airline reservation system, air traffic control systems. The biggest drawback of RTOS is that the system only concentrate on a few tasks, but there are several advantages because we know that from morning to night we are using the different embedded system which involves mobile phone, washing machine, microwave oven, chocolate vending machine, set top boxes, so many. So the advantages are more than the disadvantage, but the biggest drawback of RTOS is what? That it concentrate on a few tasks because it is application specific one. So at last, thank you very much for patience listening. If any questions, you can ask freely. Thank you.